Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me on yet another talk. So, today's topic is going to be sleep, a pillar of life. And the takeaway from this talk is how sleep affects the body, the mind, and the emotions. What is good quality or optimal sleep? What are the benefits of optimal sleep? And what are the natural interventions to induce good quality sleep? All right. So, with that, let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, I hope you can see my screen. So sleep is an integral part of our life. So integral that it's actually been mentioned in all of our Vedic texts. The Upanishads talk about sleep as one of the four states of living. Sleep is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Brahma Sutras, in the Bhagavatam, in the Ramayana, in the Mahabharata, and other medical texts like Ayurveda and yoga. In Ayurveda, sleep actually is considered to be one of the three higher pillars of life. In Charaka Samhita, Charaka writes it as Ahara Swapno Brahmacharyam Traya Upastamba iti. Traya, three, Upa, here Upa indicates higher, and Stamba is pillar. So sleep is considered to be one of the three higher pillars of life, the other two being food and proper management of energy. So, what Charaka says is that proper management of these three pillars of life, including sleep, leads to optimal health and wellness. All right. So, now let me refer to specifically to two verses in the Bhagavad Gita that talk about sleep. Okay, this is in Bhagavad Gita chapter number 6, Abhyasa Yoga. Bhagavan refers to sleep. All right, and he says, Natya asnatastu yogosti, nacha ekantam anasnataha, nacha atiswapnaseelasya, jagrato naivacha arjuna. So here, the word sleep is mentioned in two different ways. Swapna seelasya, one who sleeps too much. All right. The medical word for this, somnolescence. And then the other word is jagrata. Jagrata is one who keeps awake a lot. Okay. Think of it as insomnia. So what Bhagavan says in this verse is one cannot experience an optimal life if one is not getting enough sleep or if one is getting too much of sleep. That is, both excess sleep and deficient sleep can result in poor life. And Bhagavan goes on. In verse 17, he says, Yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. And here the word sleep is mentioned in two words. Swapna avabodhasya. Swapna is regulated sleep. Avabodhasya, wakefulness or insomnia. And what Bhagavan says, okay, that along with other practices, sleep can mitigate all material pains. All right. So the importance of sleep was recognized from time immemorial, and our ancestors or our forefathers took this aspect of sleep very seriously in order for us to have an optimal living. Now, what does sleep exactly do? Sleep endows the body with strength, with complexion, with healthy growth that can continue for the entire span of life, provided the individual does not indulge in activities that are detrimental to his or her own health. Now, according to Ayurveda and yoga texts, happiness, misery, nourishment, emaciation, strength, weakness, virility, sterility, knowledge, ignorance, life, death. These are all opposite pairs of qualities. All these will happen depending on the quality and the quantity of sleep that you get in. Proper sleep is essential for the well being of an individual and to build immunity at all three levels of individuality: body, mind, and emotions. So, each of us needs to look back and see if we are having a good quality, proper or improper sleep. Now, according to modern physiology, sleep actually occurs in 5 stages: the wakefulness, and then the N1 to N3 stages of sleep, and the REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. Stages N1 to N3, which are the non-REM sleep or non-rapid eye movement sleep, okay, occurs right after you fall or right after you hit the bed. The N1 stage occurs immediately when you go to the bed. It's very short, and it involves a light sleep from which you can easily be awakened. The N2 stage lasts for about an hour or about 2 hours. During this stage, your muscles become more relaxed, your breathing is more relaxed, and you slow down in your responses. The N3 stage is a little longer stage, and it's what we call as the deep sleep stage. It's very hard to wake up someone from this stage. The muscle tone, the pulse, and the breathing rate decreases in the N3 stage of sleep, and the body relaxes even further. The brain activity during this period has a definite pattern, what the sleep researchers call as the delta waves. And then this is followed by what we call the rapid eye movement or the REM sleep. This is the 4th stage of the sleep cycle. Normally, people enter the REM cycle about 2 to 3 hours after hitting the bed. Now, what exactly happens at the level of the physical body? Sleep affects every tissue in our bodies. It affects growth, it affects the hormonal levels, it affects our immune system, it affects our appetite, our breathing, the blood pressure, heart tissue, and cognition as well. Okay, sleep restores and repairs the body, making people feel refreshed in the morning. During the sleep time, the body produces growth hormones. And in the case of children, this is necessary for their own development. In the case of adults, teenagers, adolescents, and adults, what happens is these growth hormones are necessary for all kinds of repair mechanisms to sustain the growth and for any kind of repair of the tissues and cells in the body. The body utilizes the sleep time to overcome all the damages that has taken place. Sleep actually helps us to thrive by contributing to a healthy immune system. During sleep cycle, what happens is the body produces cytokines. These are the defense systems in the body. And these defensive molecules actually fight out all kinds of infections. And these cytokines will also help in healing any wounds. So inadequate sleep can impact the body's immune system, and it can trigger, it can make you more susceptible to infections. Chronic sleep loss can make individuals more susceptible to infections and inflammations, okay, cold or viral attack, all right, or any risk for immunodeficiency. COVID was a great example. All right, a lot of people who succumbed to COVID were the ones who actually had very poor or very poor quality sleep. Sleep also impacts the digestive system by regulating the hormones necessary for blood sugar metabolism and for digestion in general. It regulates the levels of insulin. Good quality sleep will ensure that your blood sugar levels are properly regulated. If you have poor quality sleep, the body's resistance to insulin increases, and then you are at an increased risk for type 2 diabetes. In addition to insulin, good quality sleep also regulates the levels of other digestive hormones. These are the hormones that have an important role in the hunger response and the satiety response. Satiety response is feeling full. So during sleep, what happens is the body will naturally produce more of an appetite suppressor called leptin. And that's the reason why you don't feel hungry when you go to bed or when you're in the bed, when you're sleeping, when you're in the sleep mode. At the same time, there's a reduced production of the appetite stimulant called ghrelin. But now what happens is if you have poor quality sleep or if you have reduced sleep, it changes the ratio of leptin to ghrelin. So there's overproduction of ghrelin and there's leptin levels decreases. As a result, any lack of sleep or poor quality sleep can lead to a feeling of greater hunger. So when we are sleep deprived, the chances are that you're eating more, and this can lead to weight issues. It shifts the entire hormonal balance towards fat gain or towards obesity. On the other hand, good quality sleep will maintain a healthy weight by balancing the ghrelin, leptin, insulin systems. Good quality sleep also promotes good cardiac health or heart health. So during good quality sleep, the heart rate slows down, the blood pressure lowers itself. This means that during sleep, the heart and the vascular system are able to rest. All right. On the other hand, if you have a poor sleep or if you have insufficient sleep, this can create a lot of problems for the normal functioning of the heart. Lack of sleep causes blood pressure to remain high for an extended period of time. Thereby, you are at an increased risk for heart disease, heart attacks, and heart failure. In addition, sleep deficit can also contribute to accidents. It can result in more falls and can result in more traffic mishaps. All right. Now, in addition to its effects on the physical body, proper sleep also has a profound effect on the functioning of the mind and the brain and the emotions as well. Good sleeping habit plays a direct role in how your mind feels. So you feel more energetic, you feel more successful, or you can be dull, lethargic, or depressed, depending on the quality of sleep that you have. There's no question that we feel better when we have a good night's rest. Now, how the mind is affected by sleep is of a great interest for sleep researchers. What's happening is during good quality sleep, there is a dramatic increase in the function of the brain towards a specific pathway called the recycling pathway. This is a pathway which allows all the waste proteins to be recycled. And this happens only when you have good quality sleep. Okay. And this is called autophagy. So this efficient recycling happens only when you have a sound sleep. Harmful toxins from the brain are cleared out, thereby reducing the risk of several brain conditions. This may partly explain why it is very hard for an individual to think, or why you feel very heavy, or why you feel very dull in the mind if you experience a sleepless night. Now, remember the term neuroplasticity, which I spoke about in some time back. It's the ability to make new neurons or new neuronal connections, and it comes with learning. Now, what happens is during good quality sleep, the brain sustains and preserves this new information. Memories get consolidated only during good quality sleep. Okay, and so people who do have a good sleep habit, they are better in terms of learning and memory recall. Now, at the level of emotions, sleep also has a profound effect. A good night's sleep enhances positive feelings. It creates the state of Zen. Okay, and this is similar to what you achieve when you have when you have a practice of mindfulness, or when you are focusing on given task, or when you are in the zone. And in the yoga philosophy, we know that as dharana and dhyana. We feel full, energetic, and successful only after a good night's rest. Now, what happens is your brain's memory center does not want to store any negative thoughts or experiences. For example, at the end of the day, let's say if you're a manager and you're disappointed with the day's outcome, or as a team member, you're not happy because some of your projects have failed, or let's say you got a poor score on some tests, or let's say your lunch order got delayed and you're upset, or let's say you've disappointed your friends by missing an important assignment. All these are actually unnecessary brain noise. Okay, that doesn't need to get stored. They need to be erased. So when does it get erased? only when you have a good quality sleep. Good sleep promotes a process called synaptic pruning. And synaptic pruning ensures that all the unpleasant, all the bad, sad, negative events do not get uploaded as new connections, neuronal connections. So when we sleep soundly, the brain discards all the unpleasant experiences and unnecessary noise and consolidates only the relevant signals. So this helps the brain to avoid storing all of the unneeded and unimportant information that we normally encounter. Now, sleep deprivation or sleep disturbance is a major source of stress among adults. People who get inadequate sleep are at a higher risk of experiencing mood disorders. A mere week of unrest or sleep deprivation can result in severe mood disturbances, depression, and emotional upheaval. A chronic lack of sleep can exacerbate these negative emotions. Insufficient sleep can also impact your judgment. Less than 5 hours of sleep at night is correlated with risky behavior. A sleep deprived person is at a greater risk of making poor decisions because of a lack of focus, because of a lack of attention and coordination. So developing a consistent sleep routine often resolves emotional burden. It keeps your brain more clear and it's easy to focus and pay attention. Sadly, we live in a world of unhealthy sleepers. Statistical studies on insomnia and poor quality sleep confirms this. Between 40 to 60% of people over the age of 60 suffer from sleep loss, insomnia, with women twice as likely to suffer as men. The question is, who is benefiting from this world of unhealthy sleepers? Is the sleep aid industry. This sleep aid industry has created a slew of sleep aids, pills, drugs, devices, beds, pillows, and mattresses. And they say this is the best way to treat your sleep disorder, including sleep apnea or insomnia. So there's quite a price to pay if you're experiencing sleep problems. Sleep researchers have studied the quality of sleep. And what they have shown is that there are two kinds of poor quality sleep. One they call as interrupted sleep, the kind where you go to bed at the normal time, but then you consistently wake up every couple of hours. And there's another kind of short duration sleep called abbreviated sleep. This is a kind of sleep where you go to bed very late in the night, okay, and you have a short sleep, but it's uninterrupted sleep. But it's a short sleep. So you get maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep, good sleep, but then that's it. You don't get sleep after that. Now, studies have shown that both these, the interrupted sleep and the abbreviated sleep, are both unhealthy to the body and mind. But between the two, if you compare, then interrupted sleep is more unhealthy than abbreviated sleep. Okay, so we need to pay attention to not just the quantity or quality of sleep, but also the combination of our sleep and the moods. Remember, lost sleep can lead to a term called sleep debt. In fact, losing 1 or 2 more hours of sleep can place you into a very serious sleep debt. Researchers believe that those with chronic sleep debt have a hard time catching up on the lost sleep hours, increasing the likelihood of sleep deprivation symptoms. Since most people get very less sleep than what is normally recommended, sleep debt accumulates with time and raises the risk for several chronic health issues that affect how well you think, how well you react, work, and learn. So then the question is, what are the natural interventions in order for you to have a good sleep? So I'm putting some of the things here. It's not everything, all right? So limit or avoid using highly processed foods, fast foods, ready to eat, cold foods, canned, tinned foods. deep fried foods, and stale foods, especially at night, as these can make it very difficult to get quality sleep. Acidic foods, highly fermented, spicy foods, highly fermented or spicy foods, meats, especially red meat, and foods that are very high in caffeine, high in sugar and alcohol, all these will separate sleep. So they should be avoided, especially as part of your dinner. You should avoid them. If you have chronic sleep issues, then please consider cutting off the consumption of these beverages, especially the caffeine containing beverages, especially in the night, or try to eliminate them completely. Avoiding these foods and beverages will improve the chances of restorative sleep. Avoid eating your dinner in a loud and noisy environment. So try to avoid watching TV while you're eating. Okay. Any disturbances any disturbances while eating can create problems in the mind. It can make your mind more turbulent. And if it stimulates your mind and makes it more turbulent, it becomes more difficult to sleep. I spoke about the importance of chewing. Chewing the food well before it enters the gut will ensure not only a good digestion, but also ensure good sleep. And in one of my talks, I explained the importance of the 3-hour gap between sleep and dinner. This is extremely important. The sleep cycle gets naturally triggered 3 hours after sunset, which means you actually need to have your dinner to coincide with the sunset. And that's the time when you have to quieten your body and mind and prepare yourself to get ready to sleep. Any kind of stillness practice like mindfulness meditation or stillness, dharana, dhyana, 30 minutes before sleep is very good to promote good sleep. The more you can give your mind and emotions a break, the better you'll be able to sleep. Developing any kind of sleep routines, okay, can serve as one of the best natural sleep remedies. Do your best to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day by sunrise, since this works very well with your internal body clocks and helps to improve the sleep. Now, physical exercise is one of the great natural sleep remedies. It improves both the quality and the quantity of sleep. Okay, but you don't want to indulge in vigorous physical activity before dinner or before sleep. My suggestion would be a short, gentle 30 minutes walk in the yard where it is cool. It can do great wonders to your sleep quality. Now, another thing that we need to think about is light. Light activates your brain. So try to darken your bedroom 1 hour before bedtime, which means that you should be switching off your phones as well. Even a small streak of light can destroy the sleep-inducing hormone called melatonin. Melatonin peaks only when there's complete darkness. All right, so you want to ensure that there's complete darkness in your bedroom when you go to sleep. Drinking a soothing cup of warm organic cow's milk or almond milk after your dinner is a good way to induce sleep. If you can, you add a pinch of ground nutmeg. Nutmeg supports and calms the nervous system. As an alternative to milk, if you're not into dairy, the other thing you can do is sip some chamomile tea, valerian tea, or spearmint tea. These are all very good to induce sleep. If you are into essential oils, spray the bedroom with soothing essential oils. Induces good sleep. You can use a diffuser with aromatic oils like jasmine, rose, or sandalwood. So the take-home message, good sleep is very crucial to our psychological health and well-being. Good quality sleep determines our lives and who we are. Good quality sleep contributes to psychological health and well-being. Please remember happiness, misery, nourishment, emaciation, strength, weakness, virility, sterility, knowledge, ignorance, life, and death. All these will occur depending on the proper sleep patterns that you have. Now, check my book, Good Living Practices, for additional tips. in order for you to have a good quality sleep. All right. So with that, let me stop the share here and I'll take your questions.